everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Buffalo Bridal Podcast. I'm Heather with Upstate Indie Weddings, here with Molly from the Planning Touch. And today we are here with the lovely Beth from Bridal Chateau. How are you doing, Beth?
Oh, I'm awesome.
Well, thank you for letting us come and invade your beautiful space.
Thank you
on your day off.
When you own a business, there's no such thing as a day off.
I hear
very
you.
true.
I hear you. All right, let's jump in.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us, a little bit about Bridal Chateau and its origin story and kind of how it got started.
The origin, really, we kind of touched on this. It started with my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather couldn't, he had a butcher shop down at the Broadway Market, and he had a heart attack and couldn't do the work anymore. So my grandmother said, I'm going to be the breadwinner of the family. My mom was getting married around that time, and they wanted a grander experience. So they actually had built an addition on their house to have the store there. And it just grew so fast in those years that we moved to our location on Worley Drive today.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool to have that, familial history and what could have been such, a kind of tragic turning point. You guys turned into this amazing shop with, this family-owned business. It's
third generation?
Pretty amazing.
Third generation in it.
Yeah.
I started when I was 4, and, hopefully my daughter will one day want to pick it up too, or my son. We've really held, my brother's held jobs here. My grandfather worked here. My dad does maintenance, and he builds some of the beautiful spaces.
Yeah.
So it's not just my mom and I working together, but it really incorporates a lot of our family.
Love that. Love when families, all involved in everything. So why don't you tell us what makes Bridal Chateau unique compared to other bridal shops in the area?
So a couple of years ago, we really wanted to shift. COVID had hurt the supply chain for a long time, and we're still feeling some ramifications of a lot of things. And so before, we were doing all the things, bridesmaid, prom, mother of the bride, bridal, and at that time, it was really okay, our brides need dresses right away. Supply chain was making things take longer than they usually take. 4 to 6 months takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're saying, oh, it could be 8 months, it could be a year. And things were too uncertain at that time. It's okay, people they want to get married now.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to dedicate that space to just bridal so that we could house sizes 0 through 40. We are the most size inclusive. A lot of people are we can order you a size 0. No, we stock size 0.
That's
we
amazing.
stock size 40.
Wow.
So any bride could walk in and walk out with a wedding gown if they needed to. Mm-hmm. And it also kind of really made the space a little quieter and just more focused. We have spent a lot of time trying to make sure that everyone feels welcome. So in the last 2 years, we've really been working hard on disabilities, seen, unseen, making sure that this feels like a nice, safe space for someone that maybe easily gets overwhelmed or someone that has a physical limitation. So we have, we do have that front step when you come in. We have a ramp that we can put out. If anyone or their guests have accommodations, they can do that, or our back door is just flat level. We do have a changing room that has wall-mounted benches and handle grips. So if we have a bride that uses a wheelchair, we can easily accommodate them. And all of our staff has gone through All Bodies, All Brides training.
Awesome.
So everyone is certified to be able to just really help people the best that we can and meet them where they're at. They come in and they can trust us.
Awesome.
I love that. I love the fact that you guys have been so thoughtful. This experience is so monumental to so many people. And to have a place to come to where what could feel like a little bit of an uncomfortable moment, you have removed that for people, and they can just have fun and try on wedding dresses and enjoy their experience. That's amazing.
That's the goal.
Well, then we'll step into, so let's just say, a bride comes in here. What kind of experience and does she walk into when she first walks into Bridal Chateau?
When they first walk in, our brides, when they have appointments, we put their name on a sign so they can see that they're being welcomed warmly. We've got our mannequin display up front with our logo, so it kind of gives them a real quick and initial feel into our space. Our mannequins, we make sure we have 6, 8, 10, 12, 18, 24, 26. We have mannequins of all sizes. We try and use different colors on our mannequins so that we can represent.
I saw a black one out there.
Yep. We've got our black mannequin covers. We've got our like mocha, and we've got all the different shades of nude because of course all of our brides are going to come in a lot of different shades. And in wedding gowns, there's been so many like sheer pieces to the dresses lately, and a lot of the manufacturers are like, okay, well this is nude. I'm like, okay, well that
define
nude because that's not a one size fits all.
Right.
So we've been working really hard with our designers. If a dress has like bra cups that are the wrong color, we just automatically change them out for the customer. We just want to make sure that everyone feels seen and good. So when they come in, they can see that. We've got the posters on the wall that have all different size models on them. We've got the one girl that has Down syndrome. Again, like, we really want to make sure everyone walks in and just sees representation. And they'll come in, we'll greet them, their stylist will take them over to their showroom. All of our showrooms are separated, so you're never trying on a dress next to another bride.
How many showrooms do you have?
We have 5 in total.
Okay.
We are in our VIP champagne suite right now, which is our largest room that can accommodate the largest amount of guests. We have 3 private showrooms, so if someone really wants to, remove themselves from anything else, then they can reserve those rooms too. But everyone's shopping by themselves. They have their own little nook, and really, the stylist will usually reach out to them ahead of time and get to know them, but they'll reiterate some things and just get everyone like on Team Bride and start to have fun. Because we have our online lookbook, the brides are usually pre-choosing a lot of the dresses, or at least the styles that they know they like. Sometimes, especially if they're coming in for the first time, they're not sure what they like yet, but we can get a good representation. And we have over 500 dresses, so the stylists know what the dresses look like.
Y'all have a lot of dresses out there.
We have a lot of dresses, and that's not even everything. Our sale collection, we keep in the back just to keep it as pristine as possible. So when we know a bride's bridal size, because that's not the same as street clothes, when we know their bridal size, we can then pull their selections from there as well. So we do have a budget bride appointment. I know everything does cost. The average cost of a wedding gown is about $1,500, $1,700 these days. That's not the comfort level for everyone. So we don't want anyone to be like, oh, I can't have my bridal experience because I don't have that budget. So we have our budget bride appointment, which focuses on dresses $1,200 and under that make them feel really comfortable. So you have a $500 budget, come on in. We've got things to show you, and it's always, we want everyone to have the bridal experience.
I have to say, just a personal anecdote. My good friend was getting married, and I brought her here, and she had the most amazing experience. And we had gone to a few different spots because she really didn't know what she wanted, but she knew that she didn't want, it's a second wedding for both. She didn't want the big poofy white dress. That's kind of all she really knew. We knew the venue, and I have to tell you, you and your team did the most phenomenal job. She felt so heard and so cared for, and she walked out of here with her dream dress, and she looked incredible. Whereas other places, it felt very much like she was trying to be fit into something. This, you guys really listened to her, and she walked away with something incredible. So, 10 stars.
Amazing.
And I love when people want something that's out of the box. Like, obviously, we carry a lot of wedding gowns, a lot of things that are in the white ivory range, the traditional, but I like our black dresses, the colorful dresses. I love when someone wants something that's out of the box and to be uniquely them. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed after, COVID sucked for everyone. I hate using that word, but it just did. But I think when people were forced to pare things down and really kind of just focus on themselves. So now the bride and grooms and bride and brides and any combination of people getting married, they can just, it's about them. It's about these two people. So they focus on themselves more. So now it's okay, my mom would kill me if I wore a black dress. Well, they're doing it anyways because it is about them. And the thing that really sticks to me is you want to feel authentic on your wedding day. And you go shopping with people and everyone has their own opinion, and you bring them because you want to get the their opinions in there. But in the long run, it's about you, and there's nothing worse than being okay, well, the group wanted me to wear this, and then you don't feel like yourself on your wedding day. So be authentic. That's just my biggest piece of advice for anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So do you guys offer any customizations or alterations to make a dress truly unique when a bride comes in here?
Yes. We don't have on-site alterations, but My mom was the main seamstress for a really long time, and she had to retire that in 2018. She had shoulder surgery, and it was just it's a very physical job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And trying to supplement seamstresses to help her, it was tough because at that time a lot of people really wanted their own studios. They wanted to be able to set their own hours, their own pace. Understandable. So we kind of decided that we would close that department, for the health of my mom. I used to work in the alterations department. I did a lot of custom sewing until I had my twins in 2015, and I had to cut back from an 80-hour work week to a 40-hour work week. And I don't work 40
Rightly
hours.
so.
Rightly so. I mean, I'm working from home a lot, so, the kids are watching TV. It's like, okay, I can answer emails. So it's not like it's truly 40 hours, but 40 hours in the store, I would say.
Yeah.
So, not having me there, we ended up closing that. But we know how to sew, so we can work with our brides. Our designers do a lot of the customizations in-house, so we know how to work with them with what's possible, what's not, what's economically to be done. It's like that can be done, but maybe the cost of it isn't worth it in the long run, and really work on it with our brides. So we have done a lot of custom dresses through our designers, and we can walk them through the process too with what's possible in alterations when they see the seamstress.
Yeah, I think that was a really cool thing of, my friend had wanted sleeves. In her mind, she thought sleeves. I need sleeves for whatever reason. And your team was like, okay, well, we could do this. We can make this tweak. We can make this change. And really just gave her a lot of options to make her feel comfortable and not stuck in, what you see is what you get. She really felt, again, people were listening to her and taking her opinions into, this process and what she ultimately was going to get. So
yeah.
And a lot of those things can even be accomplished with just the accessories alone. So we carry a large amount of sleeves that can be added to any dress, which really adds, because people come in like, oh my gosh, I want sleeves. And, there's only so many dresses in so many silhouettes that will have sleeves on them. And, it's like, okay, is that the silhouette you want? Is that the neckline you want? Is that the coloring you want? And with being able to add sleeves, I mean, you can have a strapless dress, and as long as our sleeves have like a shoulder line to attach to the dress, you can add them to anything. So really, it opens you up to the entire inventory. And what I find too is a lot of times these dresses don't stretch like everyday wear, and they're meant to be fitted. So things need to be a little bit more precise to fit correctly. And you might have someone that, okay, well, my body fits a size 18 dress, but she's got some strong arms and her biceps fit into a 22. So now she has to buy the 22 dress and take down the whole body, or she has to buy the 18 and add fabric to the 22 sleeve. So with being able to add those, it allows us to be, okay, well, we'll get you this size for this and this size for this, and it really eliminates a lot of the alterations or drastically reduces it. So we're working hand in hand with our brides to make sure that they're getting everything they want.
That's awesome.
And even bridal gown shopping, I like to equate to, it's like shopping for a house sometimes. You can paint that wall.
Yeah.
You can do this. Sometimes to get in a particular price point, because we're all price conscious right now, rightfully so. We can take this dress and then add the sleeve, and it'll be so much less expensive than if we were to do that as a whole together. So it works out well.
The flexibility is great. I love it. I think it's so fun.
I like that you can add sleeves. What other accessories do you guys offer that brides can add on?
I mean, the options are limitless right now. I mean, bows are huge.
Yeah, I saw a lot of bows last year.
Oh my God. And I'm a bow person.
I love the bows.
And I have a lot of like masculine preferences when it comes to things like I love pinstripes. We used to have a pinstripe dress. R.I.P. Millie. Like, when we sold her off the rack, I was like, oh, that's the end of an era, because I love that. But like, I'll wear vests and bow ties. So like, the bow just feels like it feels so feminine, but it also speaks to like that masculine side of my preferences. And like the obi sashes where they kind of come up, I'm obsessed with Japanese culture too. So like anytime I see things like that, gloves are huge right now, just adding to that drama. And all of these things are nice because they can be removed. So you can have like the glamorous editorial pictures, but for the reception, if you want less fabric and
I normally see the sleeves come off for the reception.
Yes, a lot of our bridal gowns, the sleeves are detachable. People think, especially, we're Buffalo, it's cold, and they think, okay, I need this for warmth. But once you get to that reception, you start moving around, you do not need it.
No.
The sleeves are not going to give you that much warmth. They're
really
pretty, but
yeah,
to protect
for sure.
Buffalo winter.
What's your favorite part about working with brides and being a part of their wedding journey with Bridal Chateau?
I think it's really just seeing how, again, when we were talking earlier, brides come in with trepidation. They're afraid that maybe their budget isn't going to be high enough to shop anywhere, or they don't have enough time, or they have all these fears. Do they carry my size? I don't even know what my size is in bridal. And they walk in, and just like the initial greeting and coming into this space, and once we start talking to them, you can really see a lot of that melt right off of them, and they get comfortable in the space. And then start trying on dresses, and you can tell body language is such a huge thing that we train on. You see a bride just swishing in a dress, just moving around, and their face light up, and it really, it fills your cup. But then sometimes we get our brides that have a little bit more. We had a bride who was deaf, and so we made sure we took the time to learn sign language.
Wow.
Do you think saying yes to the dress?
Oh.
And so she found her dress, and my stylist signed it to her, and she was just blown away.
Makes me choke.
I was gonna start crying. That's like amazing.
So it's like those little things that we can do extra to just make people feel so comfortable and so happy and so at ease, and to our job is to facilitate these life moments. This is a huge life moment. So we want to make sure that we're ending everything on like the highest note possible.
Yeah.
That passion that you guys have, I mean, that has to just make every single person who walks in this door feel just amazing.
Yeah, just making them feel comfortable, because like you said, there might be a little stigma coming in here, like, oh my, how am I going to find my dress? So do you guys also help, I'm assuming, with the measurements, like, so everyone can figure out what their measurement is for a bridal dress?
Yeah. And with bridal gowns, I mean, measurements are pretty much, because people are like, okay, we've been going through a lot of people losing weight with Ozempic. Bridal gowns, they're done by measurements, not by weight. So, I mean, even if you're working out, if you're doing things, muscle can add, like, the scale doesn't matter. That's completely removed from our conversation, and that's never anything. But we do want people to be forthcoming about their journey, so that we know, okay, you run a marathon in the summer right before you go, okay, that's, your legs are going to be toned. So if you're wearing a fitted dress, maybe we'll size up. So just being honest and forefront, because our measurements we take today may not always be the same as they are in 6 months when you come pick up the dress. So having those conversations, being open and honest, just let us do our job as best as possible.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Makes sense.
What's next for Bridal Chateau? Are there any like new designers or events or anything coming up?
We are working on, this year will be a little bit more low key, just because next year is our 50th year in business.
Congratulations.
So I'm really trying to put some energy into that. We'll be doing a really big party, and of course y'all are invited.
Awesome.
But slowly starting to work on some of those plans. So that's super exciting. This year, we've got Upstate Indie Weddings show coming up next month, which is always exciting. And, we've been working really deep with the designers we have. We haven't brought on anyone new, but like our Maury Lee, you saw up front, we have one of their, we're one of their boutique stores. So there's usually one, maybe two in each state. So we were chosen for here, and I think there's one right outside of New York City. But it was a huge honor to be able to have that build out with all those gorgeous Maury Lee dresses. And last year, they got a new head designer, Giup. She used to work with Vera Wang. And so we're seeing her newest collection, the first one that she really, truly got hands in on. And so I got a sneak peek. I hate to tease, but we were the first store in the entire nation to see the dresses.
Wow.
So they're going to be debuted in Chicago next week, but the CEO flew out here, and we got to spend a little bit of time. They toured the store, and we really got to talk about the bridal business and weddings and the future of everything. So we can't wait for those dresses. There's a couple that we might start getting in May, but it's the fall collection, which usually comes out around August, September, and the fall time. But we're super excited for those new dresses. They're very, Maury Lee has a really great, we kind of call it in our business bread and butter. Like, they have a dress that can speak to any bride. And it's just like your basic great silhouettes, but she brings that couture look to it. So we're really excited, because the trends for 2025 are definitely going more couture. You were seeing these Bosque waists and these dresses that are so opulent. And we want to make sure that all budget brides can partake in these fun trends. Right. So we're excited to have that, because a lot of them are 2,000 and under. Great. So we can really give that $10,000, $15,000 look in a more affordable range.
Love that.
Yeah, for sure. speaking of trends, other than that, what are some of the other bigger bridal fashion trends for 25 that you're seeing?
It's minimalist or maximalist, and some of them overlap. You can have a dress that is just simple satin, not a bead on it, but then it's, got that snatched waist and the huge skirt and the big bow, or really, really slim. We're still seeing the sheer trend kind of continuing, but like I said, we're working with our designers that are now offering several different shades for those, which is really fun.
That's cool.
And some girls, they love lace, but they're kind of over lace. So the brocades, that it looks like a satin or a Mikado fabric, but it has like that embossed design on it. That's been really big too. So it gives you the feeling of a simpler dress, but with some excitement to it. Yeah. And the fun thing is that's been coming in a couple colors. So we've got a blue, like a light blue dress that's out there. We had one. We ended up selling it off the rack. Because a big thing with having 500 dresses inclusively, we sell off the rack all the time because a lot of people don't have time to wait 6 months for a dress to come in. So sometimes we're able to refill things in quickly, but it takes those 6 months for us to replenish things too. So it's like, okay, maybe we'll bring something similar because I can get it in sooner. So we're constantly kind of rotating through our inventory, but it's a lot of fun. And black is still continuing. Yeah. I just keep saying it's not a trend. It is here to stay. And we're just learning to, do new fun ways with it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see the different colors other than white on wedding days.
And we do a lot of styled shoots at Upstate Indie Weddings, and I love when you participate because I know you're going to have something like a little nugget of unexpected, like just beautiful
We weren't even planning to do bridal that last one, but I'm like, I have a dress that just fits the venue. And Heather's like, bring it.
I mean,
was that the fall one?
No, it was. When did we do that? That was last October. We did a styled shoot, and it was kind of like it ended up being kind of a little Bridgerton, kind of like garden party-ish. Yeah. But Beth brought this dress with her, and we're like, okay, we're switching the whole thing. It's too pretty to not shoot. But I love that you guys not only have, kind of your standard dresses that people come to expect, but then also you really kind of push the boundaries a little bit and give people so many amazing options.
Yeah, because everyone's different. Everybody wants something different.
So. Absolutely.
All right. Well, how can people find out and learn more about Bridal Chateau? Bridal Chateau.
That's okay. It's a mouthful. Most people usually find us off of our Instagram, Facebook at Bridal Chateau is our tag for both of those, or even our website, bridalchateauinc.com. And the nice thing is we kind of marry everything together so it works cohesively. And you can book appointments right from our website. We have our real-time calendar on there. We do find that the website works best just because people are usually trying to coordinate with the people coming with them. So when they call, we'll be like, okay, here's a couple appointment times. Like, okay, I have to check with someone. So just knowing that you can book online 24/7, it could be 2 in the morning and you want to do that, then just book that. We do, we email, text, phone call. You can, whatever preference you are. Again, we want to meet everyone where they're at. So whatever your preference is, we got it. You can text us from the website as well. And we're an open book. So just let us know. We love love.
Yeah. And we love that about you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I think we covered a lot.
We did cover a lot. We did.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Stay tuned for the next one, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.